arguments, same disappointments, same gradual deterioration. Just put in new episodes. After so many years and emotional exits, fans were hoping season 19 would bring some closure, or at least a new direction. Instead, the tell-all felt like déjà vu. And for many viewers, that sense of repetition has worn thin. Christine, Janelle, and Mary. A new chapter begins. The emotional departures of Christine, Janelle, and Mary weren't just personal choices. They were powerful turning points. Every woman, in her own way, chose peace and autonomy over remaining in an environment where they felt emotionally abandoned. And since leaving, they've both started to flourish in their own ways. Christine remarried David Woolley and exudes happiness in a way that viewers hadn't seen in years. Janelle and Mary are cutting new roads as well, considering their children, their health, and relearning who they are outside of being a part of this plural marriage. They've been applauded by the fans at every turn. Their resilience, their candor, their transformation, it's been inspiring. While these women have transformed, the show hasn't. It clings to what once was, recycling conflict instead of embracing change. As one longtime viewer put it bluntly, "I've been here since the beginning, but I'm done. It's not even about Kody or Robyn anymore. It's just boring." Another fan said they didn't even bother finishing the last tell-all. There's no story left. They're not sister wives anymore. That's the truth. A call for something new. The original family structure is gone. And yet the show has not recognized that change in any substantial manner. But the people are not despondent. They just want something new, something authentic. Some are clamoring for a spin-off, one featuring Christine, Janelle, and Mary, the OG3, navigating their lives in this new era. One woman put it perfectly. "Give us a show with the OG3. Let us see their lives now, their kids, their growth, their journeys, but leave Kody and Robyn out of it." That's the energy now. Fans want to move forward, just like the women they've cheered for all these years. So, where do the sister wives go from here? At this point, perhaps the actual question isn't how the sister wives move forward, but who we should be following from here on out. Because the truth is, dragging out what's already broken won't fix anything. The original family dynamics have broken down, the bonds have changed, and the emotional glue that used to keep it all together just isn't there anymore. Maybe the time has come to shine the light where it is really supposed to be, on the women who were courageous enough to leave. Christine, Janelle, Mary. These women made the brave choice of self-respect over silence, healing over heartache. And in doing so, they've demonstrated what real courage is. Their tale isn't one of fleeing from something. It's one of walking toward something better. And that's the tale fans need to see next. His rationale? He felt that Janelle wasn't actually in love with him. "I think she just thinks I'm cute," he declared. "Maybe because of my body. But I don't think she loves me." Fans were left reeling. On Twitter, responses were quick. Many interpreted Kody's remark as saying more about his ego than anything else. Not to mention, his relationship with Janelle had always been portrayed as more intellectual and pragmatic than romantic. Even Mary at one point commented that when Janelle came into the family, it was easier for her emotionally because she did not consider Janelle a romantic competitor, but rather a friend. Janelle's quiet truth comes out, but tell-all gave Janelle a rare time to speak truth herself as well. And when she spoke, it was genuine. She shared about the emotional and physical distance that she had felt for quite some time. "Hormones are hard when you're by yourself," she admitted frankly, "but you just cope with it." It was the most honest thing she's ever shared on TV, and viewers listened. Janelle did not present herself as a victim. but her sentiments conveyed the quiet strength it requires to move forward without actual partnership. Most viewers viewed her as simply having survived, shouldering the emotional and practical burden of the relationship alone. While Kody's comments appeared to be callous and selfish, some fans believed there was validity on both sides. Janelle obviously longed for connection, emotional and physical, but Kody did not appear to give her much of either anymore, not as a husband, and, as so many noted, not even as the father he once professed to be. Christine speaks, and she doesn't hold back. Then came the second fans had waited and waited for: Christine's tell-all interview. From the moment she sat down, it was clear. She wasn't going to dance around the truth anymore. She spoke with conviction and clarity, looking back on years of emotional deprivation and making like everything was all right. She described how frequently she swallowed her emotions just to keep from upsetting the boat during Kody's few visits. That became a wear and tear habit over time. Everything that was ever said by Kody was a lie, she stated, simple and strong. It wasn't rage for rage's sake. It was the sort of honesty that comes with finally seeing the world clearly after years of attempting to make things work. But the biggest blow came when Kody mentioned a tale from his past, one Christine wasn't aware of. He admitted to having had a hidden relationship in college during a period of time when he had strayed from his faith. The real burn? He had told Robyn about it, but not with any of the other wives. Christine was amazed. Why was Robyn privy to something so intimate, and she and the rest remained oblivious? To Christine, it wasn't an old college anecdote. It was another instance of trust having been unequally meted out, of how deeply the emotional chasm had been widening years before any of them had uttered it aloud. Christine's reservations, the breakdown of trust, and the call for change for Christine, it was not merely about an ancient college anecdote. It was about something more profound: honesty, justice, and trust. When Kody had shared a private aspect of his history with Robyn, but not with his other wives, it posed larger questions. Why was Robyn the only one he trusted? Why did she gain that sort of emotional access before they were even spiritually wed? Christine didn't accuse on the nose, but her queries carried heavy significance. Had Kody and Robyn become emotionally, or even physically, intimate sooner than anyone had suspected? She wasn't blaming them for anything, but something in her gut told her that there was more to it than all of them had been told. And Christine wasn't alone. Many others began to question the same thing. She didn't arrive with proof. What she arrived with was viewpoint, built up from years of being left on the outside, passed over, and ignored. Her responses weren't bitter insults. They were based on contemplation. Years of attempting to maintain the peace had worn her down, and now, with distance and time, Christine was at last able to see things in perspective. From family disputes to emotional breakdown. As sister wives. Season 19 ended. One thing was certain. This wasn't simply a matter of family disputes. This was the fall of something greater, something constructed on trust, built over years of emotional distance. Robyn might have attempted to tell her side, but now the emotional gulf between her and the other wives seems too great to span. Once, sister wives presented something unusual and new, a genuine glimpse into what polygamy looked like under the umbrella of faith, love, and family. But now, many longtime viewers feel that they're stuck in reruns of the same heartbreak. Rather than progress, the show seems to be stagnant. Same thought process than anything else. He appeared to balance decisions of the past with logic and not with deep feeling. But with Robyn, Season 19 showed something different, a change in appearance that longtime viewers didn't anticipate. For more than a decade, Robyn Brown had all but played a very precise role on Sister Wives. She was demure, often tearful, and often depicted as the peacekeeper, the wife who just wished everyone would get along. Her tear-stained, emotional interviews even landed her with the nickname Sobbin' Robyn. She was perceived as the one who really wanted family reconciliation. But this season's tell-all special, complete with the responses that followed, pulled back the curtain a bit. The Robyn viewers of this go-around didn't exactly fit the image they had grown accustomed to. She no longer portrayed herself as the tearful wife stuck in the middle. Instead, many fans felt she looked more like someone who had long benefited from the way things were falling apart. Robyn had always claimed she didn't want to be the favorite. She'd say she missed the old days when everyone felt like one big team. But at the tell-all, her actions and words didn't really align. When she spoke about her relationship with Kody, she provided answers that were evasive, sometimes downright contradictory. She'd say one thing and then immediately imply that she'd known it was going to happen. She claimed to love all the wives, but confessed that she hadn't spoken with certain ones in months. Even the host, Sukanya Krishnan, was confused and attempted to have Robyn clarify. But Robyn just shrugged back on those same old emotional responses without offering tangible answers, a collection, a luggage rack, and what it all meant. One moment that particularly caught fans off guard had to do with a personal interest of Robyn's. As was reported, she had spent a fair amount on a wardrobe of her own, something which garnered criticism, particularly with the family's finances coming under fire. Undefined. Robyn downplayed the magnitude of the spending, but to a lot of viewers, it was simply another indication that she was being treated specially. Once again. However, the moment which truly sealed this notion of favoritism for most fans, it involved something as simple as a luggage rack. During the tell-all, the host asked Robyn if she always got the luggage rack during family trips. Robyn brushed it off. "Yes, this is so silly," she said. Asked if she realized the others were annoyed with it, she answered, "I had no idea." Gentle prodding on my part brought the addition of, "Maybe I just put my bags up there first." To some, that might have been a small thing. To longtime viewers, it was a sign. It wasn't merely a matter of a luggage rack. It was a matter of what the moment stood for. Throughout the years, Robyn just seemed to get little, unobtrusive privileges. And those moments accumulated. Kody spent longer hours at her house. Her kids seemed to receive more attention. The emotional currency, the attention, the work, it tended to go in one direction. Whether Robyn demanded that or not, it was evident she became the main player in Kody's life. A quiet center in a fracturing family, Robyn never wanted to be the center of attention. But in some way, she found herself at the center of it all, legally wed to Kody, emotionally cared for, and quite often protected, even as the other marriages collapsed around them. She repeatedly professed to miss the early days when the family was united. But plenty of viewers weren't so sure. Her increasing distance from the other wives, combined with her proximity to Kody, made it difficult to believe that she was just caught in the middle. Instead, it began to feel like she was quietly benefiting from the divide, even if she didn't mean to. Robyn may not see herself as the reason the family fell apart, but to many fans, and perhaps even to some of the other sister wives, her role in that story feels undeniable. With time, her emotional and practical place within the family became a source of actual tension, and for all the observant viewers, it all came into focus. Kody's version of the story and the wives who felt left behind. Throughout season 19, an obvious trend began to unfold. Robyn appeared to have it all: attention, support, emotional connection, while the other wives grew more and more invisible. And for many longtime viewers, that disproportion was difficult to ignore. Kody, on the other hand, continued to position himself as the victimized husband. Time and again, he sketched himself as the aggrieved party, minimizing the breakdowns in his marriages to Meri, Janelle, and Christine. But those words didn't always resonate with viewers, particularly when it involved Janelle. In the tell-all, tensions boiled over. Kody erupted into an impassioned and really bitter tirade on why he no longer wished to salvage his relationship with Janelle. Despite Robyn's urging to him to keep at it, he made it clear he was finished. Special, typically a time when everyone gets emotional. Robyn remained composed. She exhibited the telltale signs: a shaking lip, a shaking chin, hands wiping across her face. But the actual tears? Nowhere to be seen. Even a fan said Robyn looked stone-faced. It left everyone wondering if those emotional moments were real, or were there more to them than what was visible. Some of them speculated that since Christine, Janelle, and Meri, the initial three wives, have all moved on now, Robyn no longer feels threatened. Without that tension, perhaps she no longer needs to be so emotionally demonstrative. Ending season 19 with episode 29, entitled One-on-One Part 4, brought closure to this chapter for Sister Wives. No episode 30 is on the docket. The TLC show remains to track Kody Brown, a father of 18 and a man once staunchly devoted to plural marriage, as he attempts to negotiate the tangled blend of religion, loved ones, and emotions. But with Christine disappearing down the street and the original family structure fracturing, one thing is certain: Sister Wives' emotional terrain has shifted. New revelations, old wounds. Christine, Meri, and the story behind Robyn's first dance. In the new episode of Sister Wives, a new voice was heard from David, giving his thoughtful opinion on what it actually signifies to be a man within a plural marriage. His words brought a more grounded, perhaps even sobering, tone to the conversation. At the same time, Kody surprised everyone with a confession from his college days, something he had never shared with Christine or Janelle. The moment was unexpected, and for Christine especially, unsettling. Hearing this stirred up old concerns and reopened long-buried questions. What else might he have kept from her? From all of them? The shaky ground of trust, already broken, suddenly appeared even more precarious. Meri Brown sets the record straight. The meantime, Meri Brown seized an opportunity on the one-on-one special to dispel a rumor that has been following her for years. A lot of fans have assumed that she brought Robyn in contact with Kody. But for Meri, that simply isn't the case. "I did not introduce Robyn to Kody," she said matter-of-factly when host Sukanya Krishnan asked the question. Even Krishnan appeared surprised at the response. "You didn't?" she reiterated. Meri was adamant. "No." There is an entire debate going around online about it, but it's just not true. Meri continued to clarify that sure, she and Kody were together when they met Robyn initially, but it was no planned meet. It all occurred casually, through the intervention of common friends. No matchmaking, no plots, just a normal meetup. She set the scene vividly. They were driving along the road when they spotted some friends and neighbors outside. They paused to greet one another. Kody wound up chatting with Robyn's cousin's husband, and Meri began conversing with Robyn herself. And that, Meri says, was the start. Nothing staged, just life happening. Kody recalls their initial encounter And that first dance Kody subsequently related his own account of how it all started, and his account provided a few additional interesting details. When Mary and Robyn were conversing that day, he remembered that he and Robyn were holding back somewhat, playing it cool, not going too far too soon. But Kody admitted something a bit more intimate. He averred that the first time he actually laid eyes on Robyn was earlier, at church. She had been sitting alone, and something about her drew his attention. She appeared to be in her late 20s or early 30s, he recalled. I made eye contact, and I just couldn't look away. Robyn eventually looked away, and that's when Kody said he sort of came out of it. They did not talk that day, but there was something about the moment that plainly stuck with him. At a party later, after having an actual conversation with Robyn, Mary allegedly coaxed Kody into meeting her. Cute, she had said, pushing him along. Not long afterward, there was a dance that Kody, Mary, and Christine went to, and Robyn was there as well. Christine had gone a bit early that night, and when the evening grew later and the last song was nearing, Mary nudged Kody again and urged, "You ought to dance with Robyn." So he did, and that dance, as far as Kody was concerned, altered everything. It felt like the whole room disappeared, he said. We talked like we'd known each other forever, he said. He explained a profound emotional ease, something that simply felt normal. Asked if he had ever experienced that same kind of spark with any of his other wives, Kody hesitated. Not that I can remember, he said. It was a weighty remark, one that, from one perspective, might be used to explain a great deal of the dynamics that ensued. Robyn Brown's new side, and the little things that said a lot. When Kody reflected on his relationships, he explained it as more of a practical, what if the love you spent your entire life constructing just stopped appearing? Not the dramatic kind. Not with the slam of doors or scream downs, but gradually through silence, lost moments, and eyes that no longer saw you the same. That's what makes Sister Wives Season 19 so difficult to turn away from. Not because it's packed with explosive drama, but because at its core, it's a quiet unraveling. A family falling apart, not all at once, but piece by painful piece. Hi, friend.